Hi, my name is Melinda Smith from Noble Works, the leading provider of Enneagram workshops in Australia. This video is part of a series about this ancient tool for personality profiling and development called the Enneagram. We've partnered with Port Stephens Council in New South Wales, Australia, to share our learnings about the value of using the Enneagram as a tool for personal and organisational transformation in the workplace. The Council has made a significant commitment during the past decade to develop staff to be the best they can be by using the Enneagram. Self-awareness is a key leadership competency. Self-aware people transform themselves and their organisations. In this episode, we'll be talking about the Enneagram Type 2. I'm here with Anne Schmar from Port Stephens Council, who is going to share with us how the knowledge of the Enneagram has improved and helped develop relationships and performance personally and professionally. Thank you, Anne, for joining us today. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure, Mel. I have been working with Port Stephens Council now for 47 years.
Wow!
In various roles. A lot of my work has been in human resources and organisation development. And in the last 5 years, I've spent a lot of time working in career development, using the Enneagram to help people to find their dream jobs.
So how has the Enneagram helped people find their dream jobs? What does it do?
The Enneagram's a really valuable tool to help them to make some better informed decisions about themselves, thinking about their own particular values and aspirations and what might a good career move be for them. So I've been using the Enneagram for that. In addition to that, I've also been using it as part of the leadership development program, and of course with team building, and for people really just to generally understand their own personalities and behaviours.
Okay. Can you help us understand what the world of a Type 2 is like? Let's deep dive here.
So the Type 2s are often called the carers, the helpers, the nurturers. So you get a sense of where the essence of the 2 is. It's really focused on helping other people. So personal relationships, emotional connections are really important for the 2s. We love to help people. And we're never too busy to do that, but we do like to be appreciated for what we do. The 2s tend to instinctively know when something's not quite right with someone because we have that connection with them on an emotional level.
And how has the Enneagram, what have you learnt about yourself that's helped improve your leadership and how you've led others using the Enneagram?
Well, I've learnt that I don't always have to dive in and help everybody and solve people's problems for them. So I think one of the best things that ever happened to me was my boss, who came into my office one day and wrote on my whiteboard, "Why are you doing this? Is this your business?" So it's been very helpful for me to reflect on that. And now I think my style's more of enabling people rather than doing to and doing for other people. So I used to just get distracted by other people's problems. And I think one of the other big learnings for me now is a thinking around when I do something for somebody, I always ask myself, am I doing this for you unconditionally, or am I doing this to feed my unconscious need for approval? So that's been one of my big learnings.
Can you talk to me a little bit about that from a Type 2? Where does that come from?
Well, the Type 2s, we love to help people, but we do like that acknowledgement from people. So if we've sat up for hours, finishing off the assignment for TAFE for one of the children, or we've, been working on the science project, we really like people to say, "Gee, that was awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. I'm going to get an amazing mark for that. So that's part of that. So now it's about thinking about whether I'm doing that for you or whether I'm actually doing it to feed that need that I have for other people to say, Anne, you're wonderful.
Well, let's go to the other extreme, stress and anger. What does that look like for a type 2?
So for type 2, things like unfairness and injustice are big issues for the 2. Not getting our own needs met can bring up stress. I think that I haven't always looked after myself as well as I do now, so stress would come up for me. And I can give you an example of that.
Please do.
So this is my car park story, and when I tell people this, they say, I cannot imagine, Anne, that you would do that. But obviously it just gives you a sense of the type 2, and when they're feeling stressed or a little overwhelmed, they can take on some of those quite unhealthy characteristics of the type 8, because that is my stress point. So I was obviously feeling very overwhelmed on this particular day, and I was looking for a car space, and an old man stole my space.
He didn't.
He did. I pulled my car up just behind him, and I rattled on his window, and I said, how dare you? You have stolen my space. Well, I mean, he didn't put his window down, but anyway, look, it took me 3 days to recover from that outburst, because as a 2, I tend, you know, when I'm looking after myself, I don't go into that particular place. But on that occasion, I certainly did.
So if I was working with a type 2 in the workplace, what would I need to work on to build a good relationship with a type 2?
Well, I think 2s need to be appreciated. 2s tend to work really hard, and, you know, I've worked, you know, really hard all my life. So 2s like to have a little bit of recognition for the contribution that they're making. I think the 2s are also fairly independent, and so they don't often ask for help. So checking in with a type 2 to say, well, you know, do you need some support, would be really helpful. And I think try to avoid hurting our feelings by being too critical, or not being, you know, critical, or not actually taking us seriously. I think they would be great ways.
Some wise observations there, Anne. Finally, what do you see as the real value to the organisation, Port Stephens Council, of learning about and applying the knowledge of the Enneagram?
Well, here at Council, we've now had 500 people who've actually attended Enneagram workshops or have been typed. And it doesn't matter whether we're working with someone from the senior leadership team or a group of construction workers, everyone has just really embraced the knowledge of the Enneagram, and to allow them to better understand themselves and others. So, and it's also been a really valuable tool, as I spoke earlier, about the career development aspects of people, by helping them to make much better informed decisions about their career directions. From an organisation perspective, I've really seen the evidence of how it's improved our leadership. It's improved the conversations and the communications within the organisation, and certainly has built teamwork.
Anne, thank you for your time today, and thank you for sharing with us what it's like in the world of a type 2.
Thank you, Mel.
Join us for another episode where you can learn more about each of the 9 Enneagram personality types as people share their journey, observations and insights. Also, check out our podcast series, Understanding Your Enneagram, on iTunes or our website.